Hey everyone, thank you for joining me for another video, and today we are starting the first episode of a playthrough for a game I do enjoy playing, although I've deliberately not played it for quite a while, so that when I come to do the playthrough on here, it won't seem like I'm just doing everything off of a prepared script of playing this all over, so it's kind of, there'll be bits I'm probably going to screw up and everything, but yeah, so this is Frostpunk, which is a kind of divergent history, post-apocalyptic, steampunk, kind of Victorian steampunk based game, and we're just going to dive straight into the scenario. I mean, there are several scenarios that you have, which is the main story is called A New Home. Then we have the Arks, the Refugees, Fall of Winter Home, Last Autumn, and On the Edge. So we're going to do a playthrough of each scenario. And there are endless modes as well, but we'll get into those somewhere way down the line. So let's just dive straight into A New Hope, or New Home, New Hope Star Wars. Wrong kind of thing. Okay, there should be an intro video, I believe. Memory serves. Here we go.
We roam the still, cold world. No horizon in sight. The rulers of old, stripped of pride and glory. It feels as yesterday we were turning the wheels of progress. Until the frost stopped it all. Suddenly, without a warning. When tides had changed, they changed for all of us, no matter wealth or class. We've lost our world to snow, and with it, our last traces of humanity. We bid farewell to plenty, and for those who remained came the time to adapt. We decided to leave our homes and head north. We roamed for weeks, maybe months, leaving behind all the things we once believed had made us. It was hope that pushed us forward. Slowly, step by step. We knew the cost of our journey, and we paid the price 100 times. Finally, the time has come to build the last city on Earth.
Oh, that intro always gets me goosebumps. Right, A New Home. We fled from London and crossed the sea to reach the frozen north. On the way, our convoy was hit by a blizzard and scattered. A handful of us managed to reach the site of the generator, only to find it frozen solid and abandoned. Why is no one here? Did any of our people survive the blizzard? Are there any others out there? Whatever we do, we should expect the worst. Now that the world as we know it has crumbled, we have to survive. So yeah. So this game is going to be based very, very seriously around the resource of heat. Right, fight the cold. We get the generator working. It provides heat and power to other buildings. Without it, we'll freeze to death. Stockpile some coal and start the generator. Okay, right, so we'll tap it on pause. You can use the spacebar to hit pause at any moment. So you've got time controls, normal time, fast time, and very fast game time, so that's there. We'll just go through the top bits at the moment. So we have a resource meter for coal, a resource meter for wood, for steel, and for something called steam cores. They'll be very important later. And then we have raw food and food rations. We have our work time and time of day on this upper left hand side. So this is what this left hand area is. We have a temperature gauge in the middle, and we can toggle a heat temperature overlay, so we can see, we've got everybody standing around there looking quite cold. And yeah, the art style in this is absolutely wonderful. And yeah, so as you see, we're in a lovely dugout circular area here with this big generator in the middle, and up here we have a calendar showing, obviously we're on day 1, and obviously broken down in time during the day, and the fact that there is a temperature drop happening in just over 4 days. Well, we're on day 1, so it'll be 3 and a bit days where that's going to drop 2 levels, and each level is another 10 degrees, so we're on -20 at the moment. Lovely Siberian summer, and that'll drop down to -40. And so again, we've got our mission down here in the corner, or where we've got to fight the cold. We have our build menu, we have a book of laws, and an economy menu, which will allow us to take a look at shortly. And then we have our number of employees. So we've got 65 out of 80 are potentially unemployed at the moment, which is, so we've got workers, also standard workers, we have engineers, and then we have prohibited, which are children, because children are prohibited from working as it currently stands. So in here we have our generator, which will produce a varying amount of heat, and we can also see how much consumption of coal compared to what we're heating at, or what heat we're giving out, and this can be up to level 4. And we can also have a range setting, which we'll get to much later. And we also have our only other building we have in there is a stockpile, where we can see we've got our 30 wood and etc. in there. So that's pretty much where we stand, where we are at the moment. Got very little resources. We're in a cratered area where we have a few bits on the ground, and that's it. That's what we start with. Nice cheery start to the game there. So if you've never heard of the developers of this, it's a company called 11-Bit Studios. They are a Polish, I believe, based company, and they did this. They've also done, obviously, Frostpunk 2 has now come out this year, and there is also another game that I have played and quite enjoyed, that will be coming to the channel in a little while, which is called This War of Mine, which is another game, not quite like this one, but it's another fun, interesting game. And one of the things they do very well is throwing games at you that give you interesting moral choices. So we shall see some of those as we dig in. So first things first, we're going to look at the Book of Laws. So at the moment we start with nothing. We've got an emergency shift we can do, which will allow people to have a facility to run up for 24 hours. We can have a fighting arena, where we can have people beating the living snot out of each other, just to provide a little bit of pleasure for people to enjoy watching and reduce some discontent of the population. You can have soup or food additives, radical treatments, sustain life, and close. Oh no, wrong one. And we wanted to have the other ones, cemetery or corpse disposal. So as you see, it's a nice cheery game in certain aspects. The radical treatment, or the sustain life, for example, is people are kept alive but untreated, and that will increase some some heat, or some hope, should I say, not heat, and discontent will also rise, but people won't be treated. Or you can go with a slightly more cheery idea of radical treatment, where you're going to effectively cut off limbs of people who've got frostbite and things, so they end up as you have a percentage of chance gravely ill people will become amputees. So as you can see, it covers quite a lot of interesting stuff. For example, with the soup, you can double the rations, and the other option is food additives, where you're going to throw sawdust into the food. It will, it will make the food go further, but will also have the option of making people ill. So yeah, the game's quite cheery in most of its way. So we're going to start out with emergency shift because, well, there's a particular reason I want to use that.
A new law has passed.
A new law! New law has passed. Wonderful. Right, so we're going to go and throw some people at these wooden crates because I need wood pretty urgently, and we're going to throw an emergency shift on it. And instantly, as you can see, discontent has suddenly shot up. Now we have a discontent and a hope bar at the bottom. And for this game, hope is you want to keep that as high as possible, and discontent you want to try and keep it as low as possible. And these will fluctuate throughout the game. And what you'll find is if your discontent is high for too long, then the population will be very much annoyed with you, and the population will eventually, if it goes on for too long or the discontent gets too high, will turn around and give you a set number of days to mend your ways, effectively. And if you don't, they will kick your sorry ass out. And that is no exchanges, no refunds, you're gone. Which basically is your game over. So, cool. So we're going to grab ourselves some steel as well. And I'm also going to throw some people at a coal pile. And throw some other people at these wooden crates as well. Because I want to be able to keep myself back 5 engineers. And there's a reason for that as well coming along shortly. So, right. So we've set ourselves up at the moment with pretty much all we can do. So we've got some coal pile, coal pile, coal pile, coal pile. So we've got coal over here. So these are about 500 each. So we've got a fair bit of coal. There is a coal deposit over there that you can build a coal mine on. Steel deposit, or an iron ore deposit for steel. Some more coal there. Some more steel there. We've got wood, and steel. We've got some frozen trees, which you can unlock a building to get to, which we may do depending on how the gameplay goes. Or we've got another coal deposit here. But first things first, we're going to kick off the day, and we're going to go and start getting everything. And if you look and watch the very nicely thought out animation, other than people grumping, you see how deep the snow is around here. That you see people are pushing through the snowbank, and the snow is literally taller than the average person here. So, you know, if you take the average person being, you know, call it, you know, 5'6", 5'7", something like that, you know, or maybe, you know, even if you wanted to say, you know, the average person's, like, you know, 5'10" or something, just how deep that snow is around there. So you can imagine how cold it must be for that much snow to be around. It's a very nice little cue to just what they're having to, these people, poor little buggers, are having to go through. Anyway, right, so we're going to just let the day roll its way through. Now, the Book of Laws normally takes a number of hours until they are ready, or they have what's known as their cooldown. So we're going to deal with that, but in the first point in time, I need to unlock a building. There we go. That's what I needed. I needed a workshop. Now, a workshop is very important because that's what you use to unlock some technology. Now you can also will need to build streets as well to be able to access certain buildings, because effectively what this generator does is it gives you a grid pattern. Oops. Let me quickly speed up time a little bit just as we get through the day. So this basically builds out a kind of a ring pattern, and then there is a grid pattern of where you can put down the roads and everything. And so, as you can see, where people are walking back and forward through the snow, that cuts a path through. But if they are not walking through for a little while, then it will end up filling back in, and you would need to build a road, because a road is attached to the generator, and that will mean that it will actually stay. You can see there's a pipe underneath here, so this stays nicely defrosted. So walking along pathways are very important. But anyway, we need to get on with doing some research, and hope I'm remembering things right of what I need to do first. Right, so we've got steam hubs which we can unlock, that are powered by the generator, and they're contraptions that are designed to create another heat zone. They are bloody useful. Heaters heat buildings, that's also useful. A beacon which will allow us to go and explore the Frostland, which is also very useful and absolutely required. Resources, faster gathering is always one of the ones I usually take first. I'm trying to sort of run back through my memory. It's been probably over a year since I last played this. Hunter's gear, better snowshoes, enhanced camouflage, hunters. So I haven't done any hunters yet, so we'll go with faster gathering, because that's should only be 7 hours. So let's quickly run that through. It won't be completed today, but at least made a good head start on it. And yeah, the buildings, each of the buildings do certain different things, and they're very. I said previously, I do like the art style for this game. Got very kind of Victorian steampunk-esque vibe to it, which I just think looks really cool. We've got all our poor sods here having to drag along burlap sacks full of resources. Okay, how are we getting on? So we're 10 to 5. So there is a particular time in the day that is seen as off time for people. So you have kind of a work time. I think it's 6 o'clock till about the same in the morning, I think, like 6 a.m, 6 or 7 a.m. And so by that, when it hits that point in time, all the people that you see on these jobs and the coal will come back. There we go.
Night is coming. Put down your tools.
Cool. All right, no roof over our heads. You get. So, here's one of the moral choices that comes up within this game. You will get these proclamations, announcements, grumbles, complaints, whatever you'd like to call them. People are understandably concerned about the lack of shelter. They're falling ill from sleeping outside in this terrible cold. We better do something about it. And we have 3 options. One, we could say we won't address it right away, and as you can see, discontent will rise slightly. I'll provide some shelter, and we'll have 2 days to provide shelter for 40 people. Or I'll have 2 days to provide shelter for 80 people, and that these two will give differing amounts of hope, because people will come to you with these complaints, these entreaties, as you could say, and then they'll go, please, we've got this problem, can you help us? And if we provide and follow through with what they've said, we get a good amount of hope back for it. So we're going to provide shelter for everyone, because that's one of the reasons why I've got this wood crates being absolutely chunked onto at the moment. So under people, we can provide them tents in this lovely balmy minus 20 degrees. We're going to provide these poor sods with tents. I'm an absolute evil sod. So we do 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Because if you look here, a tent. It's in thinly insulated shelter for 10 people to sleep in. So to provide shelter for 80 people, which is what we've got down here, we need 8 tents. So we've started building those. And just for the sake of health, I'm also going to build a medical post. Right, good. How are we getting on? Family torn apart. Sir, a woman came forward after we built the workshop. She said that her husband and daughter didn't reach the city with the main group, but she's sure they're still out there. She wants to join the first scout team we'll send out. She urges you to hurry. Yes, don't worry, ma'am. We will do what we can. Right, anyway, good. Let's get those done. Where did my other set of engineers go? I need to grab 5 out of there. I'll need them back. Oh, hello. What's that noise? Wisdom of the crowd. Captain, when facing decisions or demands, remember this people usually look for the quickest solution, not the best one. You don't have to agree with everything they ask. If you fix a problem your way, it's fine. Good, thank you. I'll bear that in mind. Right, what are you lot complaining about? The heating is off. The generator's off. People are afraid they'll freeze to death in their sleep if you don't at least turn it on for the night. Okay, fine. Now, at minus 20 degrees, these buildings are entirely livable. They've got 1 level of insulation, so they can survive minus 20 without too much problem. However, what you do really need to have as well is a medical post. The medical post is where people go to get healed. So we should hopefully get that built tonight as well. It looks so cool when they light it all up. Oh, I wasn't going to, bollocks. I'm gonna turn the generator on. Right, let's kick the generator on. Oh, look at that. And you can see it's all starting to defrost around here. There we go, there's our generator. Cooking up nicely, getting all nice and hot. Throbbing away to itself. And it's going to keep this outer ring here is the heat zone 1. So all of these, as you saw, they were showing as livable. Now they're showing as comfortable. So you've got +1 building insulation and +1 for heat zone. So prevents falling ill. So there we go. So as we said, if we look at the temperature overlay, oh, look at all that. Don't they look lovely? Look at that, all nice and toasty. Workshop's comfortable, tents are comfortable, stockpiles livable, don't need to be done. And you poor bastards are chilly. Well, you know, you'll live. Mostly. Oh, I want to try and keep deaths to an absolute minimum. I haven't quite gotten ever good enough at this to play it on hard mode without at least 1 death, but that's maybe going to be a challenge for another time. I may well, during playing through these for the channel, may well get myself back into a good point where I can actually build these. Right, now we've got our medical post is mixed, fully staffed. We've got no patients at the moment, which is good. And the last of our final 10 people are having their tent built, and so hopefully we should have our provide shelter done, and then we should see a little hope spike pop in. There we go. Everyone feels relief with a roof, even a flapping one over their head. Hope rises. What do you mean? It's not much of a jump, but it's a little bit. So cool. So there we go. So we're going to get started with that. And we're also almost up with our book of laws. So we've got 14, 12, 11, 10, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bada boom. We can introduce a new law. Right. New law time. Now, the reason I picked the emergency shift is 1, it's bloody useful. And 2, that then unlocks this one, which is called extended shift. Now, extended shift allows you to extend any work day to 14 hours. So that then means we can have buildings that we set to be open for longer. There we go.
Listen, everyone. New law is signed.
New law, new law. I've got my bell and I'm going to tell you what to do. Anyway, right, so there we go. So it's from the working time there is from 8 AM till 6 PM. And we're going to change it now to be, when we toggle this, which has now been unlocked, it's going to change it to 6 AM till 8 PM. So there we go. As you can see, discontent rises just slightly every time you do it. Just so that that way it's telling us that we're pissing people off by having our workshop. What? 10 hours isn't enough? I suppose in our circumstances. See, that's a pragmatic approach. Father used to tell us we were lucky to work 10 hours a day. Yeah, well, your father was right. You were lucky. Anyway, next building. Now, one of the things we want to look at doing is, obviously, because we don't want to have people out here running around in chilly temperatures all the time. So we're going to open up what's known as a gathering post. And a gathering post will hold 10 workers, as opposed to the 15 that are in if you go and have one of the piles directly. But they also have an area of effect. So if we drop a building down here, you see it's going to get 3 of the resource piles, or more if you had the ability to. So we're going to drop that in there, and now we're going to build a road from the center part here all the way out to this. It's going to require some wood. You can see as people start to build this, you can see where they trudge through and how the pathway stays nicely covered. Because if you look up here, you can see where, because people have stopped trudging through, this is starting to fill back up with snow again, which is a nice little mechanic, showing obviously where people running through is making a big difference. So hopefully people should start coming and build this shortly. Right, wood crates depleted. Cool, so we've done what we needed to do over here. And we've got 56 wood, 39 steel, and a load of coal. Lovely, lovely. Are people actually going to be doing that, or are they going to be having a sleepy time? I think they're having sleepy time. Right, let us pop that on there. So we're going to put a gathering posts down for these 2 coal piles, so that we can get those done. And then we're going to build a road, because as we mentioned earlier, everything has to be connected via a road, or the buildings certainly. And we're good. So we've got space enough here for another tent if we need it, but at the moment we don't have to worry too much about that. As you can see, people are starting to, oh hello, they're going off out this way to go and build, and someone is starting to build our roadway. Oh, there we go. And you can see you get a little pipe up the middle here, which is going to keep this path always defrosted. Just turn the volume down a little bit. One of the things I have had to do is I have had to disable the music, which is in this game an absolute crying tragedy, because I don't want to get a copyright strike or anything, but if you do buy the game yourself and you play it yourself, the music for this is absolutely brilliant. And the composer is a Polish composer called Piotr Musial, and he has done an amazing score for this. I would certainly say for this game he has absolutely nailed the atmospheric. Oh, and there we go. We're building our road down here as well. And then you'll find people will then come up and down this roadway. I'm not going to worry too much about the coal over here. That's 321. Right.
The work shift starts.
Does it? Work shift starts. Marvellous. Right, cool. So we're going to go and collect that. Finish off collecting that lot. You're going to collect steel. You're still working on the coal. Again, it's chilly, so there's a low risk of them falling ill. When we get to this point and it drops to -40, I can't have people doing this. They will just be getting sick left, right and centre. So it's no good. Right, let's get 10 people in here. Quickly. Right, you're good there. And let's have a look. How are we doing otherwise? We need to keep 40 wood as well. 77% through our research, so that should be good. We should be finishing that shortly. And with the later time, we should hopefully be able to make good progress on the next bit of research while we're at it. We can build more workshops, which will then allow us to have more people researching what stuff we need, but again that will come later on down the line. There we go. Faster gathering researched. Cool. And what do we need? Hunter's gear allows us to get 20 raw food a day. That's going to be good. But I think we're going to get the beacon done first. That's 10 wood. That should give us time into the next day. We should then be able to get the heaters researched. And we'll need that for when the temperature level drops. Because our medical post, although it's comfortable at the moment, we will, when that drops to, that'll come down to chilly, or at least, yeah, it should be down to chilly at that point. So you got comfortable, livable, and then chilly as it comes down. That is comfortable, but that's got level 2 insulation, so that's good. Right, good. So we are working on that. How are we getting on here? 42. Right, let's make these longer shifts so we can get rid of them quicker. Still wreckage depleted. Oh good, we got rid of that one. That's cool. And again, the discontent is staying relatively alright. We have 4 people who are being treated at the moment, which is good. And we still have some wood left there. People are going to trudge their way across here because they want to get back along a heated path. And as you see, this path has all been filled in, so they're going to go that way as much as possible. So we've got 35 wood left there. And we're going to need to get ourselves a cookhouse done. And I'm going to pop that. Where do I want it? Do I want it that side or that? Oh. Yeah, I'll pop it that side. Alright. Stick it there. Has been as I have said, and it shall be done. Right, good. I've got 200 coal left on there. We are currently consuming yeah. Oh, hello. Generator hums with a reassuring warmth. We couldn't take it for granted. If the generator goes down, the city dies. Be mindful of coal reserves. Now food. There'll be no city if you starve to death. That's good. Yeah, good. Alright, well I'm doing the cookhouse, mate. So shush bye. I was talking about consumption here. So we are currently in the green at the moment. We are pulling in 235 a day from our resources, and we're using 144 a day. So we're all good at the moment. See, this says it uses 6 coal to turn the steam level on. Anyway, good. We've now researched the beacon. And where are we going to put this? I need to put this somewhere out towards the edge, but I'm going to do another research first. So we get first hunter's gear. No, I'm going to do heaters first, because they will be that much more useful. That gives us a couple of hours today, and the rest can be done tomorrow. And that will finish off in time for the temperature drop. I know temperature is going to go back up again a couple of days later. Or at least getting a good start. We're going to go through this slowly because I haven't played it in a while. I'm trying not to screw up if I can help it. I don't want to embarrass myself too much. Where should I put this? What have we got? So we've got some... should discuss this bit next, I suppose. You want to mention up here that we can have coal mines and everything, and there'll be an iron deposit up here. So whereas before you just get piles where you can just put people on, and we were putting a gathering post nearby to be able to get to them, these on the other hand require their own dedicated building, which we haven't unlocked the research for yet. So hence what you'll see when we came to go and put the beacon down is you see these kind of ghost images here where it is going to say, right, okay, that is where steel goes, that's where something to do with wood goes, that's also something to do with wood, that's something else over there entirely. And then over here we've got coal mine, another item that we'll come back to, and another 2 coal mines over here. So we're going to find ourselves somewhere where we can stick this so it's out the way, and yet still relatively close to something that we're going to build potentially in the future. There's no real potentially. I am going to be building over this way. Let's throw you to there, and you can come around and go up there to connect. Right, good. While that goes on, we should be just getting close to getting our book of laws so we can unlock our next law. And there is a particular reason I have built the cookhouse but not put anybody in it yet. And that will become apparent relatively shortly. How are we doing? 41:38, so I might well have enough for a hunter's hut. Now, hunters' huts. Hunters are based there, hunt every night, venturing beyond the city to track their prey in a frozen wasteland. They provide up to 15 raw food per day. So we're going to want to pop this down nearby. Right, not adjacent to a street. That's fine, it can go down there for now. And we're going to move the road just far enough along that it touches that building so that can be built. So what else we have? Book of Laws. Book of Laws. Here we go. Now, Book of Laws. What I need to do now is because of the fact that I have 100 raw food, no food rations, 80 people. So this will turn 4 food rations into from 2 raw food. So you basically got 2 to 1. Now, what I want to do is I want to allow for soup to be done. So that allows for creation of soup instead of full meals to feed more people with the same amount of raw food. It will mean that eating soup will cause discontent. Discontent will rise slightly. Hope will fall slightly, but we'll have a new recipe. Now, there's a particular reason why I'm going down this path, and it's purely over the fact of frugality. We have a limited population.
Hear me. New law in the city.
Okay, so that is 4 food rations from 2 raw food. This is 5 food rations from 2 raw food. So we're going to get slightly more bang for our buck. So rather than 2 raw food, you know, which will then be, say, 50 raw food, obviously getting turned into whatever it is, 5 times 4, it's like 200 or something. 200 food rations. This will be turned into just a bit more, which is what we want. So we're going to throw 5 people in there, and we don't need to worry about having this open up too late a time. So we're going to leave that to run. So you see, discontent's gone up because they're unhappy over the fact that I done a controversial law. They'll live. Anything to calm the growling stomach, just like in London. I hate soup all the life. It's been thin, watery gruel. Well, you'll have it and you'll like it and you'll shut up. Because if you don't, you'll go hungry. Simple law of mathematics, mate. Just get on with it. Right, good. Oh, I didn't set you lot on late shifts. Oh well. I'll pick them up in the morning anyway. You're on late shift anyway. So that's all good. I need 40 wood for tomorrow. Got heaters being researched. So, alright, let's throw up the level 2 because we are time speed level 2 because I want to get through the night and be able to get into the next day. So we're starting to get towards where there's going to be a heat drop, and I want these done. That's nearly done, and that's not far off being done. Those are okay. It'll take a little bit of time until they're done, but I want to be able to have everybody when that bacon's built. And we're no longer lost and blind. From now on, our people will be able to survey the icy barrens that surround us. Frostland. Oh, here we go. I just love the industrial noises of, like, you know, large-scale machinery clattering around. Ahaha! And here we have our frosty area. So around here we have a gloomy cave and the lost expedition. So let us dive in. Right, people from our convoy, with basic resources secured for now, we can try to reach the people we left behind. Build a beacon, scout Frostland, and save as many survivors from our expeditions as possible. You need a workshop to design plans for more advanced buildings. Yep, already working on it. So you see hope's gone up. So now you can see down here it says rescue survivors of our lost expedition, north of 20. So that means we've got another 20 people to go and rescue from out in Frostland as the temperature's about to drop. And we have currently, our heating area is just this one area. And we've got room for how many more tents? 1 more tent, so we can house 10 more people here. After that, they're out in a non-heated section. So we're going to have some fun and games when it comes to that. But that's a problem for another day. Right, we need to get ourselves 15 people into our hunter's hut. Now this will mean these 15 people are no longer going to be available to do anything else, which is why we want to go and get our expedition so we can get people coming and doing stuff. And they're going to go in and they'll spend all day in here chilling out and relaxing, and then they go out from 6 PM till 6 AM and they go out onto the Frostland to the unknown and go and hunt for food. Okay, here we go. What are you saying now? Ready to search. People cheer as a giant observation balloon soars above the city. This is a real feat. Everyone feels proud of the work they've done to make it happen. Volunteers have lined up, eager to go looking for the lost people in Frostland. The woman who came forward earlier is among them. Yep, we needed a win. Coolio. Now, what we need to do is we need to get ourselves a scout group together. And that needs 40 wood and 5 workers. Currently, we have neither. So we're going to work on that as best we can. And as you can see, people are now nicely walking along their nicely warmed up highway along here. And as long as that generator is running, this will always stay defrosted. Oops, lazy. No, don't do that. We can keep going on like this for a while, I'd say. I do like it as well. As you zoom out further, you get more and more noise from the Frostland coming in behind you. You just come down, you get into a quieter time, then you're coming down even further and you start hearing the noise of the buildings. Very cool. Nice little details like that I think make the game pretty unique in that regard. Right, how are we doing on here? We've got 41 steel. We're getting a little bit low on steel. We've got 60 steel over there. Not too worried about steel at the moment. We've got 40 in there, 27 wood, but I need more wood realistically. Come on, boys and girls, finish this one up. And that'll free me up some people. It also means one of our extended shifts will disappear, so our discontent will drop. There we go. Lovely. We'll create deleted. Or depleted, should I say.
Time to get to work.
There we go. Right, now the rest of the working class will get out of bed and do their job. Right, 38. Come on. Give me some more wood. I've got 190 of it in there, so let's get it going. As soon as we get 40 wood, now we've got some spare people, which we have. Right, now we can get our scouts. So we're going to create a new scout team. So, do we go and get our lost expedition? Numerous tents, we can see people moving about. So we're going to get our scouts, and it'll take 11 hours to get there. So this is where we've got our scouts over here. Or we have a gloomy cave. There's a dark cave entrance visible on the hillside. We think we saw a faint wisp of smoke coming from it, but it's gone now. Right, let's send our scouts to go and get our people back. I think I remember what's over there in the gloomy cave, and we'll come back to that another time, because I need some more people first. There we go. As you can see, everything's going to start filling in with snow again. You won't even notice this was there in a day or two's time. Well, we've got 5 people. Let's go and get some people into that steel wreckage while we're waiting. I won't keep them there forever because I'm not going to have them out working in that area when the temperature really drops. Well, I have 5 people doing nothing. Come on, 8. Give us some more wood. I want some more wood. There we go, 10. Good. The reason I'm saying about the 10 is because our research is nearly done, and each of the level 1 researches take 10 wood to research. There we go. Heaters have now been done. So we're going to go and grab ourselves the hunter's gear. So that means that rather than getting 15 raw food, they'll come back with 20. Which will be bloody helpful while we are a bit short on food rations. But as you see, we've got 158 food rations at the moment, which is good. So now we can start to look into our economy section. So you see we've got our workforce currently working in each of them, what their efficiency is. Current efficiency, 1 employee delivers 6.7, so the base Base efficiency is 100%. So as you see, coal gains 294 a day, coal consumption 144 a day. It's good. How much coal we've got in reserve and how long the coal will last for. 1 day, 18 hours, which is good. Then we've got the same with the wood. Wood gain plus 64 a day, doesn't seem like much. Steel 74 a day, and food we are currently gaining 38 per day and consuming 80 per day. So at the moment we are not gaining anything that much a day, and we're only gaining food rations by what is being done in the cookhouse, and we're eating quite a lot and we've got nothing new coming in. So the hunter's hut's going to be 15, and the cookhouse is doing 499 a day if it had unlimited amounts of food rations. Okay, good. We are currently got no untreated citizens and no citizens in treatment, so that is good. And houses, well, call it housing, but it's really tents. So we've got currently no vacant beds, and 80 of 80 people are housed, and they're all housed in tents, and current temperature status are comfortable. So at this moment in time, at this point in the game, we're doing alright. I know I've got the gathering post over here, and this is why I wanted the heaters done, because we're going to be able to turn some heating on to keep the place nice and warm. Oh good, that's that coal pile depleted. Let's quickly throw some people on there, just for the day before it then becomes into the next day, where that's going to drop 2 levels and it'll become -40. There's a reason why we want that to be done as quickly as possible. Okay, so we've got 4 hungry people, and even though we've got 200 odd rations, people haven't. Oops, there we go. We have ourselves another law. So people haven't gone and actually started getting their food yet. Some of the people who are working will be hungry, but they haven't actually stopped their job to go and eat. So they'll be picked up once they finish their shift. And we also notice there you've got in brackets the number of people starving. At this moment in time, we have nobody starving. So you've got 2 levels of hunger. So you've got hungry and starving. Hungry is okay, people are just grumping. Starving, people can actually get ill or die from starvation. So we don't want to let too many people be in the starving for too long. Right, good. So we're doing alright. So I'm going to have to end up making a decision on children at some point soon. Do we let them stay in safe jobs, where you can employ children in safe jobs? Oh, doesn't he look so happy? Hey, look at that. Safe jobs. Or the other option is we have child shelters, where children will be forced into daycare, and they will be able to then help out with things. Now, child labour safe jobs is going to cause hope to drop slightly, and they can be injured in accidents, but they can only work in safe environments and safe workplaces. So that'll be things like gathering posts and in the cookhouse and stuff like that. You won't be able to send the kids down the mine. I'm sorry, that's just not going to happen. Unless, of course, you then go on to the next law up here, which can then follow on, which is then child labour all jobs. And then you can go and send the little blighters down the coal mine. However, if you go with the child shelters, you can then do medic apprentices and engineer apprentices, which is another law along that path. See, branching law choices here, where the kids will then be able to be in the workhouse, in the child shelter, and they will then be able to work helping out with the medics or helping out with the engineers. So again, it all depends on your scenario, your playthrough, how badly screwed you are, whether people have died, and how much you need the ability to choose either or. Now, one thing about the laws in this game, when there's laws like this where there's two branching choices. Once you've made your choice, that decision is final. So if you go with child shelters, you're going to have to build a new building, which is called a child shelter, and you can't change it and go with more people in safe jobs. So you kind of have to make your decision at this point in time. Child labour can be very, very useful when you've got a lower population. However, I'm going to go with the nice approach, and I'm going to do child shelters. A couple of days to build a child shelter, and it gives a permanent hope bonus. So we're going to go with child shelters today. And you see, got quite a nice big bump in our hope, so we're doing alright. Now, people, child shelter, it's got base level heating too. So again, these, much like the workshop, which is quite comfortable at the moment, so we'll be able to put the child shelter somewhere around and keep it nice and warm by just being within this row, even though it's not currently covered by the heat. So got 2 days, 23 hours, so we've got time, we can do that. It's not a big drama. Okay, how are our scouts doing? Our scouts are 4.5 hours away from finding what we need to. We're going at speed level 2, so we're not doing too badly. You see, people are now finally going and actually getting off their lazy arse and going and eating. We've got currently 248 food rations, so that's about 3 days. So we're doing alright there. There we go, that is our free time now for the evening.
It's off time.
So those 7 people should now go and eat, and we may just be alright on getting our next technology in before the end of the day. Bada boom. Ah, hunter's gear has been done, so they're going to bring in 20 raw food per day. Right, what have we got next? Steam hubs, I do want those, but they're not a demand right this very second. We've got food and everything. Now, all of this is all grayed out because we need to go and unlock the drawing boards research, which will allow us to open up this level of the tech tree. But that requires 50 wood, we haven't got it. So, what have we got? So we've got a coal thumper. Now, these are very cool. They pump pressurized water into underground coal deposits, and then that coal thumper washes up the precious resources to the surface, forming a pile of up to 560 coal per standard workday, enough for 2 gathering posts. So these are very cool to do. However, they do require a lot more people and a lot more space around them, because you'll need to build the coal thumper itself. It will create a couple of piles of coal, and then you can put 2 gathering posts right next to it, or within the catchment area of the gathering post, and then people will go, so that'll be 20 people for the gathering posts, and I believe it's 10 in the coal thumper, and that will then allow you to gather all that coal really quite quickly. It's great for some uses, and people can be quite polarized about this from what I've seen in old forums I used to read about this game, where people are like, oh no, coal thumpers are terrible, we want coal mining all the way. It's up to you, up to your playstyle. What do you prefer? You know, I don't tend to use coal thumpers that often. I like the idea of them, and in some scenarios they are very, very useful. If you're struggling with coal early game, that's your answer right there. It costs 10 wood to unlock the technology. You've got gathering posts already, and if you've got 30 spare people, you've got a reliable source of coal that's much better than what you get out of just a coal deposit. And that's then pretty much unlimited. It just, once you've built it and you've built the gathering posts, you leave it running and off it will go. But we're not going to do that. Now, the sawmill. Sawmill is used to cut up those frozen trees we saw within our crater. Now, again, Some people will use them, some people don't. I've done playthroughs where I've never used them, and I've done playthroughs where I have used them. There is something that you can unlock here, which is called the wall drill, which will make these absolutely obsolete very, very quickly. But again, if you're having a particularly bad playthrough, or you've made a bad decision and you feel like you're struggling with wood, that's going to be a lifeline. It costs 10 wood to unlock. You can plonk it down and you'll be able to send some people out to go and collect some wood. Again, depends on your playstyle, depends on where you are within the game and how badly screwed you are. But I may throw one in just to make you see what it looks like. I may not, depends. I can even pop it in later and maybe throw something down just so you can have a look. But again, it's an unheated building, so I think it's only level 1. Like gathering post, only level 1 insulation, so you've got to be careful when you let people in there when it's particularly cold, because otherwise you're going to have a lot of cold for having heaters blaring left, right and centre from every available building. But we're going to go with this one over here, the Steelworks, which extracts iron ore from deep deposits and process it to deliver up to 40 steel per standard workday. And we need that because we're getting quite low on steel. We've got 88 at the moment, but we've only got one more steel deposit to clear out. So we will get this done while we wait, and then hopefully by then we should be getting part of this 145 wood back, and we can start to look at getting the where the changes are coming along. But yeah, and then we can look at unlocking drawing boards with 50 wood. Here we go. I think. Right. Coolio. Our scouts have reached the lost expedition. Right, let's quickly see what they're doing. Okay, so the rest of our people have made camp here, too exhausted to go on. We should escort them to the city. So we'll explore this. Here we go, a happy reunion. We enter the camp, appearing out of the driving snow. A choir of excited voices welcomes us. Thank God you found us. We've been wandering for days, until we couldn't go on any longer. Soon we begin to starve. Children and adults surround us, packed and ready to go. So cool, so we've done with that. That's good, we found them, we can bring them back home. But we've also discovered a crash site and a sturdy shelter. So again, this point is where we also appear to get one of our other moral choices. You can either escort the survivors to the city, that's 4 kids, 10 engineers and 22 workers, or we send the survivors to the city, where they'll be set out towards the city on their own. It will take longer and some of them may die. Now, again, depends how you want to play the game. What would you do? Let me know in the comments. What would be your way of playing that? But for me, because I want to try and save as many people as possible, I'm going to escort the survivors back to the city. Why would you not want to send escort the survivors back to the city? Well, there are some reasons. One of them being if you want to keep your scouts out exploring. You may want them to carry on exploring, and if you're not too worried about the number of people that you have in your camp, you could just send them back on their way. However, I'm going to escort them. I mean, you may decide to send the survivors to the city if you're very low on resources, you've got your scouts out, and you need to go and find more resources, and you're playing it on a hard mode or survival mode or something. Then you can maybe sacrifice a few people here and there. If they die in the Frostland, well, that's their problem. It all depends on what moral choice you make. I'm going to escort them back because I need everybody, and I want to see how many people we can get on this. I like the challenge of trying to get everybody back. Right, So that's it. If you can see over there, we've got 5 hours, 24 minutes until people are going to be back. So let us pop ourselves a new tent in there. So at least 10 of the poor buggers have got something resembling some kind of little bit of warmth. But as we've nudged over the hour, I'm going to say that's the end of the episode. And yeah, if you've had any thoughts or suggestions on how to and where you'd like this playthrough to go in regards to how we're going to design this city and build ourselves out, then do please drop them in the comments. And if you haven't already, please do consider dropping a like and also subscribing to the channel. It does help. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you very much indeed for your time. You take care now. Alright, bye bye.